Here's more wrestling news for January 18th, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include: champion in AEW working without a contract. Will this free agent be in the Men's Royal Rumble? WWE confirms major plans for Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. I don't think the good times exist anymore. Former WWE personality hits out at recent changes to the company. AEW confirmed that one of their stars is injured, has been pulled from upcoming GCW appearance. WWE personality promoted to Smackdown after less than a year with the company. Former WWE superstar says Stephanie McMahon found him wasted at live event. Year-long record is broken on this week's Raw, and more. We are kicking off with AEW as TNT champion Cody Rhodes has been a huge deal in the company ever since he co-founded it in 2019, but despite being a current champion, he's currently a free agent. Fightful Select reports that Rhodes' contract with AEW expired at the end of 2021, and every date he's worked since then has been on a per-appearance basis. Although Cody is a free agent, it is expected that he'll re-sign, as in an interview with Sports Illustrated last month, he said his future was with AEW. Although Cody may see his future with the company, it's no secret that things haven't exactly been clear backstage, with reports that he's been at odds with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Some have even speculated that Cody's free agent status means he'll be appearing in WWE's Men's Royal Rumble, though, as we reported earlier this week, there will reportedly be no AEW involvement at the event, according to Dave Meltzer. Given that Cody has said he'll stay with AEW, is a founding member, and reigning TNT champion, it's practically guaranteed that he'll re-sign. But at this moment, Rhodes is one of wrestling's most prominent free agents. Cody may indeed plan on re-signing with AEW, but for now, he's not under contract to wrestle for them or any other contract with the company. When Fightful asked about Rhodes' status as an executive vice president of the company, they didn't receive a response from the TNT champion himself, but did get a response from others in the company. Those sources said that Cody is not under any contract with AEW at the moment, implying his deal to be an executive vice president with the company is also a thing of the past. In all likelihood, Rhodes will re-sign with AEW as he's shown no interest of working for any other company, especially WWE. But the fact that it's taking him this long to ink a new deal is interesting to say the least. Last week, we reported that WWE was considering hosting their Elimination Chamber event in Saudi Arabia, and those plans have now been confirmed. In a statement, the company announced that Elimination Chamber 2022 will air on February 19th from the brand new Superdome in Jeddah. The stadium, built by Saudi officials as the world's largest pillarless Superdome, can hold over 5,200 vehicles, according to a 2021 press release, but there's no confirmation on how many seats this equates to. As for the reports of WWE changing the show's name to WrestleMania Elimination Chamber, that wasn't addressed in the report by WWE. There's no word if WWE will hold a men's and women's chamber in Saudi Arabia, but this event shows WWE remains all in on their controversial deal with Saudi Arabia. When Renee Young left WWE in 2020, it came after 8 years with the company, and during that time, the Canadian broadcaster saw plenty of changes. From shock departures like CM Punk and Chris Jericho to Young herself becoming a Raw commentator, a lot has changed over the past decade, and not necessarily for the better. Now going by Renee Paquette, the former WWE personality discussed the current WWE product and the fact that many of her closest friends have been cut in the name of budget cuts. I don't think the good times exist anymore. Wrestling should be the best job in the entire world. It should be the most fun, and that's when people flourish and do their absolute best. To see that kind of going away and imagining people walking around on eggshells sucks a big one. Renee isn't alone with her critique of WWE as the company continues to alienate fans with its profit-centric attitude, putting their corporate sponsors ahead of the fans, and perhaps a time will come when things change, though Paquette isn't hopeful. More from AEW next, as fans won't be seeing Eddie Kingston in the ring for a while, thanks to a new injury. PW Insider reports that it was during the latest tapings of AEW Dark at Universal Studios that Tony Khan informed those present that Kingston is injured, and sources say he'll miss a few weeks of action. Kingston had been announced for GCW's The World on GCW event, which will air this Sunday from the Hammerstein Ballroom, but when approached by Wrestling Inc., the company confirmed that Kingston won't be competing. It's unclear at this time if this injury is a re-aggravation of his shoulder injury, which he suffered at Full Gear 2021 when wrestling CM Punk, or if this is a new injury altogether. But what we know is Kingston won't be in action for the next few weeks. Back to WWE, as in November, Greg Hamilton was fired after he threatened rapper Westside Gunn with WWE's lawyers, leaving SmackDown without a full-time ring announcer. In his absence, Mike Rome has been pulling double duty for Raw and SmackDown, but that's all changed now that Samantha Irvin has been promoted. During the most recent SmackDown, Irvin was announcing, after most recently working in the same role in NXT, and it's been confirmed that she'll be permanently working on the Blue brand from now on. On Instagram, Rome congratulated Irvin on her promotion and announced that he's now the full-time announcer covering Raw. Prior to WWE, Irvin appeared on America's Got Talent and Fox's I Can See Your Voice, but with less than a year within the company, has already found herself in a massively important role on SmackDown. When ECW folded in 2001, Rhino joined the WWF and would quickly be involved in some top feuds. One person Rhino worked closely with was Stephanie McMahon, the on-screen owner of ECW, but the two had a strained relationship after the Invasion angle. Speaking on the Talkin' Shop podcast this week, the Man Beast discussed one occasion where he'd had a bit too much to drink, and things could have gotten worse had Stephanie McMahon not intervened. "I didn't drink at the time, so naturally, I'm just wasted. Steph comes in and she's like, 'Rhino, are you okay?' She wanted to make sure I wasn't all pilled up. You could smell the alcohol. And I'm like, what a buzzkill. Anyway, I think it's because we developed that friendship that she didn't get me in trouble." Eventually, Rhino decided to let Christian drive them to their next event, giving him the chance to sober up, and we're glad that the wrestler's better judgment, as well as a few concerned words by McMahon, made him realize that he shouldn't be driving in this condition. Returning to WWE in 2015, Rhino had a 4-year return before leaving in 2019, but he still remains close with the Billion Dollar Princess. And we're ending today with this week's Raw, which saw US Champion Damian Priest in action, but in a surprising turn of events, the Archer of Infamy came up short. Facing Kevin Owens, it was the former Universal Champion who got the win, marking Priest's first singles pinfall loss since coming to the main roster in January last year. This win comes right after Owens declared himself as an entrant for this year's Men's Royal Rumble, and with this win, he's expected to receive a United States title shot down the line. As to whether this means Owens will win the gold remains to be seen, but getting the first singles pinfall over the reigning US champion is one huge way for the prizefighter to build some momentum. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.